Pharmantid by Paul Murdoch. Chapter 4. Missing. At 8 p.m, the air is still clammy and the sky is dotted with hooded crows and gulls that perform noisy acrobatics over our heads. The Fenix research station was purpose-built on the Moray coast, about 3 miles from Inverness. A vast array of stanchions and platforms hold up its modern outline. It juts over the Moray Firth like some kind of Bond villain's lair. Built on the site of an old whaling station, it has several floors below ground, which I suspect may contain Bruno's top secret project. I'll park the people carrier and escort Fletcher and Ellen to the main gate of the Phoenix Pharma Labs. Thankfully, Reese decided to stay back at the hotel bar, so less people to keep happy. "Where is she, Mr. Fix-It?" asked Fletcher, his filthy cigar smoke rising in clouds until it's whisked away by the brisk summer breeze. "There was no need for any of you to come along," I explained. "I could have picked up the watch myself and brought it back to the hotel. No problem." Fletcher belches, crushes the remainder of his cigar beneath his silver-studded heel, and then retrieves an unfinished bottle of Macallan from his jacket pocket. He unscrews the lid and takes a swig. A set of headlights swing into view. It's a white Range Rover with an empty fishing rod rack on the roof. It purrs past us and parks in a spot marked reserved. Opening the passenger door for her daughter and then helping her down, Britta Miller makes her way across the car park towards us. She points at the security hut, expecting us to follow her there. I'm a bit annoyed that she hasn't taken the time to greet her guests, who could easily construe her actions, or lack of them, to be rude. Jen Miller holds her hand. She's clutching a red leather school bag with a teddy bear's head sticking out the top. We catch up and Fletcher squints down at the girl, mid-swig. He wipes his lips with the back of his hand and says, "Hello, little girl. Come to help your mommy, eh?" He reaches down to pat her head, but Britta gathers her daughter in close and fumbles with her security pass. "Suit yourself," says Fletcher, taking another gulp. I feel my face flush. Fletcher is a dick, but Britta is verging on obnoxious. "Her name's Jen. It's her birthday," I say, instantly regretting it. "Well, Jen," says Fletcher. He turns to Ellen. "Do you fancy seeing this old lady jump out her skin?" He giggles like an imbecile, and then makes things worse by trying to mimic Ellen's disgruntled expression. Ellen's frown fades as she looks down at Jen. "He's from Texas," she explains. Jen smiles, but Britta barely gives Ellen a glance before she pushes the gates open and turns on me. "Where are those security guards, John?" I shrug, but I know fine well they'll be skiving somewhere in the complex, playing cards or watching some programme on the telly. Part of me wants to warn them that the boss's wife is in the premises. The other part of me wants them to get caught. I doubt they even know Britta has a night pass at all. Ellen walks up behind Britta, her cashmere cardigan pulled tight around her dress. Britta takes her daughter's hand and swipes her pass over the electronic lock. "The gates are open now, John. But we'd better come with you, I suppose." I push them inward and I click them shut once I breeze through again. 2 minutes later, we're all bundling into the main office. The guards are both there, gathered round the microwave. "But, Mrs. Miller," one of them complains, "we're not supposed to open any of the corridors at night." Britta bristles. "My husband will be very grateful if you can help this man find his watch. If you're quick about it, I might just turn a blind eye to the fact that you are both too busy stuffing your faces to notice 5 people walk through the main gate." I turn to Fletcher, but he's disappeared. "Mr. Fletcher!" "Where did he go?" asked Britta. Jen yanks her teddy free of the school bag by a tattered ear and points to a door at the far end of the room. "He went in there." "Brilliant," snaps Britta. "I'll hold you responsible for this, John." A red light begins to flash on the security panel. What does that mean?" I ask. The smaller but more muscular of the 2 guards, a guy called Snedden, stands up. "It's the basement motion sensor." "What's he doing down there?" says Britta. "We'll go and get him," says Snedden, without answering her question. He nods at Tucker and they set off. Another light begins to flash in the panel, and then 2 more light up. What the... Britta begins flicking switches. She turns to me. Do you know how to get the video cameras on? I think I remember, I say, fumbling about. Ellen, however, reaches between us and presses a grey button. There. A bank of monitor screens flicker to life. Ellen smiles, but then looks beyond me. Where's the girl? Britta spins round and looks about the office. Jen! She must have followed the guards, I say. Ellen taps me on the shoulder and then tugs me back by my sleeve. I hope Fletcher's not seriously going down to that vault again. I clatter down the metal stairs and instantly catch the rancid smell of the basement at the back of my throat. The vault looks secure. The door is still shut fast. In the darkness, the concentric rows of freezer cabinets look like long dormant guardians. I thought you said Jen was down here, Britta pants. I continue to survey the basement from the metal stairs. Jen! My voice echoes out over the gloom. Jen! The stale air causes Britta Miller to cover her mouth with the back of her hand. She coughs and then grips the metal railing. Why did I ever agree to come out here tonight? Get some lights on down here. She's really overreacting. It's like she knows what Bruno has down here and is terrified. Where are those security guards? Asks Ellen. Nervously, I tap the rail with my fingers and say, Let's go back upstairs. She can't be down here. Shouldn't you check the vault? Says Ellen. I stop halfway up the stairs. Ellen, are you saying that Fletcher's taking Jen into that vault? I'm saying, Ellen begins, her voice laced with frustration, that there are a lot of freezers and things down there we haven't looked properly. Ellen holds her nose and begins to climb back down the stairs. I find a light switch and flick it on. Look, we should stick together, I complain. No, she answers. I'll check things out down here. You go back and make sure they're not outside. A scream echoes along the upper corridor. Everyone stops. Was that Jen? Says Britta. She breaks into a run. We all follow, skidding to a stop in front of the black and white TV monitors. Again, another scream. We all see a shape, more like a blur, rush past one of the screens of the monitors. What the hell was that? Whispers Ellen. Maybe it was a glitch, says Britta. Her forehead is dripping with sweat. I'm not even sure I know where that camera is, I say. I can tell by Britta's face that she knows. Where's that corridor, Britta? Come on. Britta doesn't answer, but Ellen seems to know her way around the monitor console. I expect you have everything digitally recorded. Britta sighs. It all depends how efficient those guards have been. Her face is full of trepidation. Ellen presses something, and the screens all flash on at once. That's them all rewound about 3 minutes. Britta narrows her eyes. We have to get Jen. We have to get her right now. Okay, Britta, just wait a wee minute. It's worth the wait. Let's at least watch the screens and get a clue. The scream replays. That sounds more like Fletcher than Jen. I stab a finger at the top left monitor as I see the dark shape flicker past once more. Where is that place, Britta? I turn to Britta, but she just closes her eyes. I catch her arm. Look, Britta, you know where that corridor is. My frustration is switching to anger. It's your daughter! Britta's face is drained of all colour. Mrs. Miller, urges Ellen. Snedden rushes back into the room. He's holding something in his hand. Britta dashes towards him and snatches it from him. Her face is as white as a sheet. It's Jen's school bag. She stares at the bewildered-looking guard. Where did you get this? The guard looks at me and then back at Britta. He hesitates, as if he doesn't know what to say. Look, Mr. Miller said we'd be fired if we even spoke about... I hereby override any order given by my husband, says Britta. Has Fletcher gone down in the lift? I think so, says Snedden. What lift? I press. Snedden gulps and then begins to ramble on about a shaft and a lift and guns. We all scamper after him as he leads us back to the basement. What did you just say about guns? I ask. We might need some, Snedden answers. He looks at Britta. I think it's escaped, and it's bigger than it was before. What are you on about? Asks Ellen. As we pick our way between the freezers and past the vault, Snedden slows and points to one of the green service doors at the back of the room. I don't know how he found it, Mrs. Miller, he says. What's going on, Britta? I ask in an urgent whisper. Without looking at me, she says, Bruno was going to show you everything tomorrow. I'm not even supposed to know about it. We had a brief chat, I say, but he never got a chance to elaborate. We stepped through a green door I thought led into a storage cupboard, and suddenly we're in a lift I never knew existed. Britta continues. Her eyes are set in some unseen spot in the distance. Bruno's been working on this for 10 years now. Hundreds of scientists have worked on it. Little bits of the puzzle. Geneticists, physiologists, zoologists, chemists, you name it. They've all been doing the work for Bruno, for Phoenix Pharma. She looks at me in the eye. There's a new sector of the market, as yet untapped, and we've just signed a major contract which has opened up a massive injection of funds. I don't get it, I say. We seem to be going very deep beneath the surface. A series of yellow lights flash in a panel until the lift slows. There's a swish, and we all step out into the corridor. I recognise it from the security monitor. There's another bank of mini monitors on the wall above the lift door, showing the guard's office upstairs and the presentation room, and all the corridors upstairs too. Where's the other guard? asks Britta. Snedden points at the far right monitor and says, Tucker went to look down there. I would have gone too, he adds, but we found the school bag and he told me to go back upstairs with it. You found it down there? Says Britta. She stops in front of the open lift door and points left. The guard points to a spot on the floor right beside us. No, not as far as that. The bag was right here, Mrs. Miller. That smell, I say. It's like pear drops. It's ethyl acetate. A scream echoes along the corridor. Oh! That's Tucker, says Snedden. He took one of the guns and went ahead. I stare at a glass box with its door half open. There's a semi-automatic heckler clipped to the wall, so I take it. It feels familiar, like it's part of me. I made a promise to myself 10 years ago that I would never touch another gun in my life. Promise broken.